I am out here with the ducks again to give you another set of updates. I've done videos on here about exercising and how important it is and how necessary it is in your life. And as with everything, you get bored and you drop it and you let it go. I reinstated my Y membership. Guys, I'm getting back on the horse. Back on the horse with exercise. I've noticed that not only does it give me more energy, helps me to keep my weight at a healthy level, it also helps regulate my mood, my emotions, you guys. I've been like the wicked witch of the West around here, especially, after 2 o'clock, and 5 o'clock, that's just a witching hour. So, update on my teeny weeny afro that's not so teeny anymore. This bad boy is shrunken down at this point, but you see, this is hair. This is how long this bad boy is. I have a lot of shrinkage, but you guys, my hair does what it wants to do. I have driven my barber crazy. Like, I go in there and I'm like, can you even it up? I feel like this side is shorter than that side, and I feel like I can't get the shape to be the same even when it's extremely short. And that is because I have multiple textures on my head. This stuff has different curl patterns depending on where it is, and it shrinks differently and does what it wants to do. And my approach to that is, it is what it is. I'm gonna be happy and I'm gonna live. So even on video, if you see the shape is not quite perfectly, when I picked it out, it shrunk up the way it wanted to shrink up, and I'm just gonna live. Remember the green smoothies? Remember I was drinking a giant mug of green smoothie, and I told you that I was drinking 3 of those a day. Drinking that much, that was like a pound of greens a day. And I'm not talking about, iceberg lettuce. I'm talking about kale, collard greens, super greens, that blend that has all the power greens in it. It did help me to feel better, but it was just too much for my body. My face broke out in a repeated breakouts that just would not go away. And all of those greens were actually exacerbating my bloat and making me very gassy. And so I had to cut back on that. I actually cut back to drinking 1 big mug a day, and that was so much better. And along with that, just incorporating more cooked green vegetables, that seemed to work a lot better for me. MG2's yarn braids are beautiful, and they have held up really well. I had hoped that in time after washing it, and washing it was a breeze, they dried well, the style maintained, its good look. Thought that after washing it, maybe the color would fade, the darkness of the black yarn would fade a little bit and it would blend better with her hair, but that hasn't been the case. And I tend to wonder if that's a bigger deal to me than other people, because no one has really commented about the difference in the colors, and she gets compliments all the time. The problem is her. She wants those things out of her hair as soon as possible because she misses her own natural hair. I was hoping to go one more round with these bad boys. When I take them down, of course I'll do a video to show you how well they work and what condition her natural hair is in. But hey, duckies, I was hoping to go one more round, but she misses her hair too much. So I'm going to have to take them out and give it a rest and see if I could convince her to do it again at a later date. My son is doing really well in college. It's so funny. He posted in his status one week that he was surprised to find that the thing he misses while being on campus is being around little kids. Mocha Baby and MG2 and even MG3, they tend to rattle his nerves a little bit. They're at that age. But he misses interacting with little kids because a campus is mostly a community of young adults. And so he talked about that. We do get to see him every Sunday because he still attends our church, and he still plays keyboard for the worship team. And you would think that that would make it a lot easier for me, but actually I wonder if seeing him from a distance that often just makes me moving on and transitioning that much harder, because he doesn't come home for Sunday dinner or anything like that. There have been weeks where we've gone out to eat, but for the most part, like, hey, he sits with us for the service, and then after the service we drop him off on campus and goes on with his life. He's very good with responding to texts and making calls. And Mocha Girl too took over his room the afternoon we dropped him off. She understands that it's his room when he comes home, and his dresser is still empty. Her dresser got moved in, so his dresser is still empty. There's a place for him to put his things. But she took down all his artwork and everything and put up her own, and the room, changed the curtains. The room looks completely different. To me, that made it a little bit easier, that it felt new, and I wasn't going into his same exact room and he wasn't there anymore. And it's still a growing process. His academics are on point, his grades are good, but he's still searching and wondering how to blend all that he's going to be with where he is now. I see an internship coming down the pike. I see leaving campus and going to do something else for a while coming down the pike. So there's no way to predict where this thing is going. Just like we changed our minds and explored different things when we were that age, I see that happening to my son too. And it's exciting and a little scary all at once. So those are my updates. Be blessed.